Okay, so we're going to talk about playing the intro that hopefully you have a pretty good grasp on. Um, we're going to talk about playing it in the key that we did the original arrangement. Our original arrangement was in D. The YouTube version is in G. And that is still a good one to practice along with because it gives you a lot of practice with some single note picking rather than just playing it in the arrangement. But we want to also add that same introduction because it's a very good introduction. I like it a lot, and it just gives some more. The song itself is, pretty short, and this just gives the song a nice extension, and the song lasts a little bit longer that way. Plus, it's just a cool sounding intro. So we'll get right into it. So when we played the intro in the key with the video, we were in G. We started here. That was the first part, and then we played that 4 times. Okay, so now in order to play it in D, the rhythm will be the same. That was the whole point of having you play along with the video, is so you could listen to it and get the exact rhythm of the introduction. So now all we're doing is changing the notes, but the rhythm will be the same. So here we have starting here in D with the open D string in the 2nd fret. Okay, and then what I'm doing in order to get that 5-4, I'm just sliding my 1st finger up to the 4th fret, putting my 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the D string, playing those 2 notes, and then I'm hammering down with my ring finger onto that 5th fret of the G string, like that. So all together, that first measure like that. You may have also heard me dampen that second one just by touching. And once again, remember when you're doing that touching, it's just a very light touching on the strings. People tend to overdo it. Don't overdo it. You just need to just barely relax those fingers. And then we get to the second measure, and I'm bringing the 1st finger back. Now when I get to that 2/2, I'm just taking my middle finger and bringing it over the top. It's a little awkward, but that's just the way. It's very doable. Like that. So putting that first line all together, we have and we play it again. And of course that'll go on for 4 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the intro in G twice, and then I'm going to play the intro in D twice, just so you can hear, hopefully hear that they're exactly the same thing, just in different keys. This isn't tabbed out anywhere. If you can do it, you can just play the intro in G, and then play the, once you learn it, you can play the intro here in D. But I want to play it for you so you can compare and contrast the two keys. So here I'll do it in G, then I'm going to go to D the new way. The new way. So I hope you could hear the similarity between the two introductions. Once again, the exact same thing, just in a different key. Okay, so that's line 1 of the intro in D. Now we get to the second part of the intro is lines 3 and 4, and we play that twice. And so the way I'm playing that is I'm once again here in second position with my first finger on the second fret of the G string, and I'm just going from 2, 2, 4, 5, 2, open 2. And then I just bring my first finger down to the second fret of the D string and continue on. On to the next line. And of course we would play that entire thing twice. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that, the first 3 lines together. Just a quick note on what we have here on the page. We have the intro in D twice. The first 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, are the intro in D down in this lower octave. The next 2, 3 lines are the same intro but playing it an octave higher. So we have an option. We can either play it down here or we can play it up here. They both work. The exact same thing, just in 2 different octaves, and we'll get back to that in a minute. So now I'm going to play the complete intro in D in the lower register, the first 3 lines that are in the tab. So it'll be about here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we repeat. And again. One more time. Continuing on. And we repeat. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that again a little bit slower because I may have played it a little too fast. You're just learning it. So I'm going to go ahead and play, I'm just going to play the first line once, and then I'm going to go into lines 2 and 3. Okay, I'm just going to play each of those lines once, but a little slower, so you have a play along that's a little bit maybe at a speed where you can play it since you're just learning it. So we'll play it about 3, 4. Continuing. Okay, once again, as I said, if you have listened to the YouTube video and are able to play along with that to some degree, the rhythm is the exact same. And I'll go ahead and do a couple of more play-alongs before we finish up. Now, when we get down to the 4th line, we have the same intro, except now we're going to play it an octave higher. So what I have there is I have the open D, the 7th fret, and the 10th fret. So that's what we have there. So I'm playing that, then just playing the 10th fret, playing all three again, 10th fret, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to the open G, the 8th fret, and the 7th fret. So you can see that happens pretty easily. We're going from here to there, from 0, 7, 10 to 0, 8, 7. I'm going to play that first measure. Okay, I'll do it again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play that very first line at the top of the page, which is the same thing except in the lower register, so you can hear the similarity. And then up higher. So I hope you can hear the similarity there. It's the same thing except an octave higher. Going on to the second measure of line 4, we have 0, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10. I'm spelling that out a little bit in case the tab didn't come through clearly. I know that's a little squashed in there. So anyway, we have this. So that's that second measure in line 4. Dropping the ring finger on 9, so we have 9, 10, back to 7, 10. Okay, now I'm going to play that entire line slowly 4 times. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay. Line 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the same as line 1, just an octave higher. Line 1 is line 4 is same thing, an octave higher. Now we get to line 5, which is the same as line 2, except an octave higher. So once again, I'm holding that open 7, 10, I'm playing that, then I'm staying in that position and just playing the rest of the notes in that measure. Okay? To play the next measure, I'm going down the 5th position. I'm putting my first finger on the 5th fret of the B string, playing those notes. Okay, then I'm going back and I am repeating the first measure. I'm not going to that extra one that I drew in. I didn't want to use another complete sheet of paper for a line, to just write one line. So this is the way we're going to do this bottom one. On line 5, I'm going to play the first measure, the second measure, the first measure, and then the extra one that I wrote on the bottom. Okay, understand that? So it'll be the first measure to the second measure, back to the first measure, then to the final measure, and then what I'm doing on the last two sevens, I'm sliding from that 5th fret back up to the 7th fret. So that final measure looks like this. Oh, sorry. And then we slide back up. And the reason I'm doing that is that puts you back in position to repeat the entire thing. So I'll play the entire thing slowly. First measure, second, first, last, and we repeat the whole thing. Second, back to the first, final. Okay? So, once again, I'm going to put these numbers in while I'm talking. Line 1 is the same as line 4. Line 2 is the same as line 5. Line 3 is the same as line 5, the first measure, going down to the final measure in line 6. So once again, that final one, just so I didn't use a separate piece of paper to write just one line of tab, I chose to do it this way. I think you understand what I'm talking about. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the entire sheet for you for a play along, and then we'll talk about, next time we'll talk about combining it with the original arrangement that we did. You may be able to figure that out on your own, but I will touch on it in a way of review, or just send a separate video soon on that. I'll just have to see how that goes. But here I go from the top. I'm going to play everything all the way through. Okay? Line 1 4 times, line 2 and 3 twice, line 4 4 times, line 5 and 6 twice. So here we go. 3, 4. Repeating that. Okay, so that's the intro in the lower register. Now I'm going to go ahead and play line 4 4 times, and then go on to 5 and 6, which, as I said, when we play 5 and 6, we play first measure of 5 to the second measure, go back to the first measure of 5, and then the 6th line, and we do that twice. If any of this is unclear, you know who to ask. Okay, so starting on line 4, 2, 3, 4. Again. Again. One more time. To line 5. There you go. It's a lot to work on. I wouldn't go to the lines 4, 5, and 6 until you feel really comfortable playing lines 1, 2, and 3. If that was a little quick as a play along and you would like a slower play along, just let me know and I will make one for you. And so in that regard, I'll just have to wait to hear from you. And like I said, and then we'll talk about tying it all in together. Have a good one.